The question was posed to me a few days ago. What happened to those people who died before Jesus died for their sins? And I think the thought behind this is, because Jesus died on the cross 2,000 years ago, what happened to all those people who died a lot longer than 2,000 years ago before Jesus came on the earth and died for their sins? Well, obviously, God knew that Jesus was going to die on the cross. And he's not bound by time in the same way that we are. And a lot of the Jewish sacrifices and festivals, they pointed to Jesus. They pointed to the coming Messiah. The sacrificing lambs, it was pointing to the Lamb of God. So all these things that they did with an inclination that God was going to save them through sacrifice. And by doing this and responding in faith and having that belief in God, they were saved through their faith, pointing ahead to Jesus. And it was of Abraham that it was said, Abraham believed, and it was credited to him as righteousness. So it was that Christ's righteousness that was imparted to Abraham through his faith in God, even though he didn't know specifically about Jesus. Jesus is God, so he had that faith in God to deliver him, and he was delivered like many others in the Old Testament. They're rewarded because of their faith. And I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, that's a very Jewish thing, isn't it? What about all those other people who weren't Jews? Could they still be rewarded in some kind of way and enter into heaven through God's sacrifice? Yes, they could. And there's some stories of those in the Old Testament. There's Rahab, the prostitute, who lived in Jericho. She believed God. She knew that judgment was coming to her city, and through her faith, she was saved. You can read about lots of these characters in Hebrews chapter 11 in the New Testament, if you want to find them quite simply rather than scouting all the way through the Old Testament. There's many characters who were saved. The nation of Nineveh, for example, that they were a Gentile nation, but God saved them from destruction because they believed in the message that Jonah gave them. And I could go on, but there's many examples of Gentile people being saved through their faith in God. So and that's the key component, it's faith. So even us now, we are also saved after the cross through faith. It's our faith in God, by grace, by his grace, through faith, that we're saved. So it's no different to us, really. But the central point, either whether we're looking back to it from our point of view or looking forward to it from the Old Testament point of view, the central point is the cross of Jesus. And it's through his death that we have that access to heaven. And wouldn't it be great if just everybody watching this acknowledged that and entered into that door of salvation through the cross of Christ, who was crucified for us so that we can be in heaven.